I have been in real estate since 2011, and the satisfaction I feel when we have a successful finished transaction is just tremendous. I truly believe that home ownership is one of the most important investments you can make in your lifetime, and that's actually what drove me to real estate to begin with. I work in the greater Boston area, and we have so many great communities here. It just depends on what your priorities are, and I will help you choose the right community for you. What is it like working with me? Well, I like to keep everything lighthearted and fun if possible and low stress. And number one thing that I do for my clients is at the first meeting, be it buyers or sellers, I sit with them, I talk to them, and explain everything from the beginning to the end, what possibly can go wrong. And we go over every scenario. For buyers, we go over the inspection and what issues might arise during the inspection. And especially for first-time home buyers, it's really a nerve-wracking process. But when you're prepared, you know exactly what can go wrong, and if that happens, what are you going to do about it? You are much calmer during the inspection. You're much calmer during the whole process. And if something arises, you say, okay, fine, I know how to deal with it. You're calmer, you make better decisions. The same thing happens with sellers. At the beginning, I go over everything. For example, how to prepare your house for sale. Be it decluttering, improvements, curb appeal. We talk about all those things, and I explain to my sellers that, you know, you don't have to do any of those things. If you don't want to do those, I'm not going to force you to do this, but I'll explain to them what the pros and cons are of their decisions, and that they make their final decision. It's their decision, it's their money, so it's their time. And you know, I have the network that the contractors and everybody that can help them do it with ease and grace, and it can be done. So after we talk about preparing your house for sale, we also talk about other things that are very important. What to expect when buyers make offers, the roller coaster ride of being on the market, and so much more. So when my clients are done with their first meeting, they understand everything from the beginning to the end. And because they are calmer at that time, they absorb the information better and they're well prepared. So then after all that is done, we can have fun. Communication is one of the most important things that I pay attention to. Communicating with my buyers, communicating with my sellers. Well, I'm very analytical and data-driven, and my important priority for me is to make sure that my buyers don't overbid, they don't overextend themselves, and my sellers price their house correctly. So I do the data analysis, I do the research, and give them a range or give them a couple of options of how they can go about it. And again, my sellers are the ones that decide which road to take. And I explain all the drawbacks and the positives of each way of doing it. Negotiations are my favorite thing. I learned from the best in the market, from experienced real estate agents, and also Chris Voss, who is the FBI hostage negotiator. You can't get better than that. I don't work with cold calls and door knocking. I don't do any of those. My goal is to make my clients my billboard. They go around and tell everybody they meet about how wonderful the experience was. I work through referral and not through cold calling or door knocking, which is very time consuming. I want to put my 100% of my attention on my current clients.